Like, you would think by now that I would know not to sit on this board while I'm gonna record, but it's just so tempting. Hey guys, and welcome to another one of my videos. So this is weird because how long has it been since I've done a video that isn't a vlog? So as you may have gathered from the title, this video is going to be all about the body scan that I had done the other day. Cue dramatic music. So you may have heard of this type of body scan before. It is not a DEXA scan, it is a body composition analysis. And what you do is you have to take off your, I'm going to say take off your feet. Oh. You have to take off your shoes and you have to stand on this machine. I will insert a picture right now. And basically you hold on to these two things and you have your feet on the base. I am the worst at explaining things. Jesus, Aimee, get a grip. You stand on there for like a few minutes and it will analyze you. Now I've done a bit of research and from what I have found, electrodes go up through your palms and your feet, the soles of your feet, and they detect the data. I feel like I should know more about this because I'm a health science student, but we're just gonna go with that. From this, you are able to gather your body fat percentage, your muscle mass percentage, your water weight, where you hold your muscles, your normal weight, your basal metabolic rate. It is really cool. Now, I must add here that it has been found that like it's not the most accurate thing. It's as accurate as it can be. However, I've heard that it's not as accurate as a DEXA scan. The benefit of doing this as opposed to a DEXA scan is that it is cheaper, it's more convenient, and it's a little bit easier. I believe, especially where I live, to get a DEXA scan, you have to go to the hospital and it probably costs upwards of about $150, whereas this costs around $30 to $50. I was lucky to get this one complimentary. I have them here because I actually had one done in April last year at a fitness expo. They're not the same company, however, it is the same machine, it's the same tool, and I decided it'd be pretty cool if I did a comparison of the two to see where I was and to see where I am at. So they pretty much picked up on both the same things. This one was, I think I said April last year, and this one was literally yesterday. So the one I had done yesterday was done with the Smart Analysis in-body scan in Adelaide. If anyone's interested, let me know. A really nice girl called Emma runs that, or at least she was running the one I was at, and I would highly recommend it. And so I'm thinking I may start with the one in April, and I will give a guideline of like my weight, my body fat percentage, my muscle mass, all of that. So that should be on the screen now. And as you can see, my weight was 43.3 kilos, which was pretty low for me at that time. I'm not usually that weight. My muscle mass was 20.3 kilograms and my body fat mass was 5.8 kilograms. So that's pretty low. As you can see, the normal range is 10.3 to 16.5, and it's fairly normal for muscle mass, but again on the low side. My total body water weight was 27.6, which is average. My protein was average. My fat-free mass was fairly average, and my mineral content was average. Okay, so my BMI was in the low range, which we know because my body weight was quite low. My percentage of body fat was 13.5%, so that is pretty low, and I was fairly lean at the time. I don't believe I looked as muscular as I do now, but I was definitely lean. And as you can see from the sort of the segments, I'm fairly symmetrical, which is actually quite rare. So I have 1.7 kilograms of muscle in my upper body, 5.7 and 5.8 in my lower body, and I hold most of my muscle in my core or in my stomach, which is good to know. And it's pretty much fairly the same for the fat percentage. I know that, you know, I got that pear body shape going on, so that is why it is 1.2 kilograms of fat on my legs and only 0.4 on my upper body. I've always had noodles for arms, and that's just the way it is sometimes, you know. Some of us are just blessed with tiny upper bodies, and then we got a lot going on downstairs. So my fitness score is 72 out of 100. I don't really know what that means. My basal metabolic rate was 1,179. Let me remind you, basal metabolic rate is if you were lying in a coma, your body would be burning up this amount of energy. So actually that's on the higher end of normal. I've always known that I sort of had a high metabolism. I guess that just kind of re-emphasizes that. Okay, short hiatus because my camera died, but I am back. So we were at the April scan. I was saying that, you know, I was fairly lean. I think this is a pretty accurate representation of where I was at at the time, yeah, I really liked knowing that my body is quite symmetrical. Body fat percentage was very, very low. It does say on here that a normal range, especially, this is just for women I think, is between 18 to 28%. And mine was 13.5. Also, this time I wasn't getting my period, so this was perhaps too low. Alright, let's move on to the scan from yesterday, and that will be on the screen now. But as you can see, firstly, I would like to note that it said I was 153.5 centimeters. I'm sorry, I refuse to accept that. I am 155, I don't care. I actually think I am 155. I've had it tested many times, but let's move on because I'll get on a tangent. You'll see here that my total body water is 28.2 liters, which is in the normal range. I felt that I was actually holding on to a little bit of water that day, so I'm wondering if that is like a little bit higher than it would usually be. My protein was 7.5 kilograms, my minerals was 2.66 kilograms, and my body fat mass was 6.5 kilograms. My overall weight came to 44.9. This was just after I had breakfast and I'd had a lot of liquids. I didn't actually know I was getting this done. Had I knew I was getting it done, I would go in there obviously not eating or drinking, so I have a very accurate representation, and that's something I'll definitely do in the future. Muscle fat analysis, there is 20.8 kilograms of skeletal muscle mass and 6.5 kilograms of body fat mass. And then my BMI has gone up a little bit and my body fat percentage is 14.6. So it has gone up by about, I believe, 1.1%. And you'll see my segmental lean analysis, my right arm was 1.7 kilograms of muscle, my left arm was 1.77. Now this was really interesting to me because I have always said that my left arm is stronger than my right. Every time I'm doing an exercise, I always notice it. I guess I never had any proof, and this sort of reiterates to me that actually, yeah, my left side is kind of stronger, which is cool. My core still holds the majority of my muscle mass at 16.4, which I'm told is quite a lot. So that's a good thing, I guess. I've got a strong core. My right leg 5.9 to my left leg 5.9 as well. So that is very similar. My basal metabolic rate on this one is 1,199. That has gone up a bit. I would account that that's for the increase in weight. And my score is 74 out of 100, so a bit up. Again, I don't really know what this means. It says weight control of like target weight and everything. I just ignore that. I know what my body needs. So let's get into the comparison. Okay, so when it came to the comparison, I'm gonna be totally honest with you guys. I was disappointed. And I think that if you work hard in the gym, you'll understand. From the period of April last year until now, I have worked my butt off in the gym, essentially. I've worked really, really hard. I've spent probably like upwards of 7+ hours in the gym every week. I have not had an off week. I have been on point with my calories. So to see that there's such a little change is disheartening, I'll be honest with you. I have gained only 500 grams of muscle, which I know that that's a lot, you know, half a kilo of muscle, that's a good thing. But over that time period, I would definitely expect more. And I have gained 700 grams of fat, which that's fine with me. I knew that I needed to gain some fat. Now I have regular periods, I feel a lot healthier, so that doesn't concern me. That's completely fine. But I guess that did just disappoint me that I haven't really changed a whole heap. And as someone that works so hard in the gym, it was confronting for me. And I thought if I had started playing an instrument in April last year and I had spent as much time playing that instrument as I do working out in the gym, I would be very, very good at playing that instrument. And it's like, what do I have to show for myself? And it really got me in a bit of a bad mood. I think I have spent more time reflecting on it now, and what I have been able to do is, you know, like grow my understanding in the gym, grow my passion. I do look physically like a little bit different. I hold my muscle a little bit differently, so my body may have recomped itself a little bit. On the whole, you know, I'm grateful for the time I did spend in the gym. I'd rather me spend a lot of time in the gym and making very slow progress than giving up and making no progress or regressing. So I am happy with this. I think more than anything, it really motivates me to work even harder in the gym. And I went in the gym this morning and I was like, you know what? I never want to see this little change again. I'm absolutely gonna smash this workout. And I had a really good workout. So I guess it worked. But it really reiterated to me that I need to spend time building my muscle mass because I really want to see changes and improvements. So no, I don't believe that you always have to see a change, especially when the numbers come about, in order to, you know, be fit or be happy. This is just one measurement of progress, and if you're not aiming to gain muscle or to lose weight or anything, then that's completely fine if you're not seeing a great deal of progress. But as someone that really wants to further like my physique and I want to get a bit more definition, this sort of way of tracking where I'm at is really, really helpful. You don't need to get one of these body scans done, of course you don't. They're a little bit pricey, they're a little bit hard to find, but if you're a numbers person like me, they can be really, really cool just as a way of tracking progress. You know, they're just like a Fitbit. You don't need a Fitbit to be athletic or to be into exercise, but it's just a really cool way of seeing where you're at, seeing how your body is, and hopefully tracking some numbers over time. Me, I'm a health science student. I'm literally an exercise science student. I love numbers. This sort of stuff is like, it's my jam. Like, I love it. I love knowing how my body works, what my body is made up of. I find it really cool. And for some people, that'll be the most boring thing in the world, and that's fine. But for me, I find this is a really, really good tool to see where my body's at, and I'm really hoping that this is a good base to watch my body grow. And I'm hoping that next time I get one of these done, to see that my muscle mass has increased a little bit. And you know what? Because I am going on a gaining phase, my body fat is going to increase a bit, and that's fine. To gain muscle, you have to gain a bit of body fat, and that's why people go through bulking and cutting phases. So you would have heard it if you've spent any time in the fitness industry, that people will bulk and then they will cut. The premise behind that is that you bulk, you gain a bit of muscle, you gain a bit of fat, and then you cut and you lose some of the fat, and yes, you're going to lose a little bit of the muscle, but then you're going to have a more defined physique. And that is my sort of goal at the moment. It's to gain a bit of weight and then to sort of cut back and see how I'm going. Oh, I can feel myself bouncing now. I think I really needed this as a wake-up call, because I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys. I have found this whole bulking process really difficult. The first few days were easy. I was like, really, this is going to be fine. And I think that's because my weight didn't shift. However, because like my cycle is due, the weather's weird, and a few other factors, my weight sort of like jumped by like a pound, like over a pound in the past few days. And I was so wrapped up with that, and I was like, I shouldn't be gaining this fast. I'm gonna have to eat less. I'm gonna be so stressed out. And that is the wonders of having a coach, and that is why I have a coach. That is why I recommend everyone get a coach, and that is why my clients come to me, I suppose, because it's letting someone else deal with that stress, and it's getting them to come back to you and say, no, this is okay, and I want you to keep going how you're going. Because in the past, when I tried to do this myself, I'd get to this point and then just give up, and then, you know, I'd be 9 months down the track and everything would be the exact same. So to sort of summarize, no, you don't need to get a body scan done, but if you do want one done, I think they're a really fantastic tool. I think it's really cool to see. Just don't get too wrapped up in the numbers side of things. If you get it done and you think that you're at 18% body fat and the scan shows you're at 22, don't let that make your world crumble, because I know a lot of girls would get so upset in that situation. It's just a number. You have to learn how to remove yourself emotionally from that type of thing, and this is something I've had to do myself, and think it's just a number, and numbers can't hurt you. You are who you are, and if you look in the mirror and you like what you see, who cares if you're 22% body fat when you thought you were 18? Literally, who cares? Like, I don't care. No one else cares. You shouldn't care either. And that's my like tough love tactics for you. But I hope you got something out of this video, and if anything, it's sort of pushing me to really commit to this phase that I'm in. And I hope all of you can join me on this journey, because it's a pleasure to have you there. The more support I have, the more it motivates me to keep going, and you will motivate me. When I see all of your comments and I'm able to respond to all of your comments, it motivates me to work harder. And thank you for all of the support that you've been giving me lately, because it is just incredible. Every day I get messages from subscribers saying thank you, and the fact that I can make an impact in someone's life is just, it's incredible, and it's something I never thought I would be able to do. So it's people like you that keep me smiling, keep me motivated, so thank you to you all. If you're new to my channel, I post videos at least 3 times a week, so press that subscribe button. I will see you in my next video. Who knows, it'll probably be back to normal vlogging style, but I do like doing these sit down videos with you, so expect them more often. I'm off now to go eat more food, because if anything, this has made me like hungry thinking about all the gains that need to be made. I'll see you in my next video, guys.